We got one dream and that's yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on this throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They font that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, someone be too who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. This an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah. It's been a while since I dropped this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah. Aight, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play gang gang. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, yeah. You know we don't play gang gang. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas, they using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. Yeah. They are controlling the youth, agenda abusing them, nigga. We losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them. That's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act. Fucking low key with a Tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got to that. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beard, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Ayy, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play gangs, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play gangs, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. You know we don't play gangs, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, nigga. How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your phase me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa, it's a new range, new page. Got me in a new country, new stage. I ain't signed no deal, I'm too paid. I do not have chill, I'm too crazy. I do not take L's, I'm too Brady. I might be frosted, I'm not flaky. Don't know what it cost me, it's all gravy. Turn on that faucet and just pay me. Whoa, we gon' get it, bring it back. Maybe Donald is a Mac. Couple bottles, empty glass. New machine, I'm sending facts. Bump the headline, check the facts. I'm not a gangster, but I'm a gorilla. Hop on the drums when I'm feeling J Dilla. Come get your lady, cause I'm a just stealer. How about the range, whoa? Hey, yeah, I'm feeling strange, whoa. How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your phase me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa, there's no comparison. Black in America, little too arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant. I shouldn't mention it, that's royal etiquette. Out of my element, way too intelligent. Grab you a therapist, send him my sentiments. Neck full of sediments, caught me a Tesla and skirt through the valley. Dropped an investment in Silicon Valley. All of this cake, but I'm missing the patty. Might mess around and just move to Miami. Drums are so loud that they break in the chassis. King of the grass like a Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors I labels as testing. How about the range, whoa? Hey, yeah, I'm feeling strange, whoa. How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your phase me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa. How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your phase me. How about the range? Whoa. Yeah, I'm feeling strange. Whoa. Come up, ayy, let's be with that drama, ayy, saw that fatty mama, ayy, told her I don't wanna, ayy, come up, ayy, let's be with that drama, ayy, saw that fatty mama, ayy, told her I don't wanna, ayy. Went out, caught me a red fly, too many people on a bandwagon, done been through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock, I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mo change, big bags, faux chains. Get that money, said big facts, no gains, big stats, mo fame. We back done, said big names. On stage, big trap, no shame. Going in, running that big check. My name, sign that, mo rain. Come back home and just come up, ayy. Let's be with that drama, ayy. Saw that fatty mama, ayy, told her I don't wanna, ayy, come up, ayy, let's be with that
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Norma.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3259 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and your hosts? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beescast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all
fucking
Catalina wine mixer.
What's going on, fam? Welcome to the show. Hashtag never stop gaining. Drop that in the comments down below. Thanks for being here. If you are interested in learning more about joining our Swole fam, we're going to get into some Swole fam posts in just a moment. It's Tuesday, April the 8th. Make sure you check out the link down below and in the description, swolenormousx.com, to get access to all of the amazing new releases from yesterday, as well as, of course, all of our programs. Yoga, we got hundreds of yoga classes. We got master classes. We just dropped a new one yesterday. Of course, the full programs, community, so much more, swolenormousx.com. And of course, drop that hashtag never stop gaining in the comments in order for a chance, for the privilege of the opportunity to win today's Swole card. Fuck yeah! All right, let's do it. Let's get into the tip, fam. Are you ready? Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. Go do some cardio. Just an inch. All right, yesterday we dropped a brand new masterclass, calves, focusing on the stretch. You want to learn more? Check it out. It's right there on your homepage in the Swolenormous app. Make sure you go check out the brand new masterclass. We also had other drops. My Swole Pony, which is awesome. That's brand new over at papaswolio.com. And if you have not yet noticed, I am rocking the Curl Bears merch. This is last week? Maybe last week or the week before. I don't even know. But in the last 2 weeks, we dropped Curl Bears. So that's now available. Check it out over there at papaswolio.com. 20% off the entire site for a limited time. So go and grab yourself a My Swole Pony or a Curl Bears. We also dropped a new yoga class with Alex, Wind Down Yin Express class. So go and give that a watch. And I hope you enjoy. A great way to cap off your evening now.
What's in the box?
The first post we got is from Michelle. And Michelle says, newbie alert. Just joining, getting familiar with the space, new to the fitness regimens. But at 56 years old, working from home since the pandemic, I have become very sedentary and losing muscle. I am hoping to make fitness part of my lifestyle so I can be healthy and active with my grandkids. Excellent. Welcome to the fam, Michelle. I asked over the weekend, the accountability text this week, what's the number one thing you're struggling with your 7 pillars? We got a couple more responses I want to go over. This one's from Joshua. Joshua says, my struggle comes with consistency. Pillar number 7. My hours are long, and to combat that, I need to just block my schedule and force myself to step away from work. Well, you can think about it in that sense. I don't think it should be forcing yourself to step away from work, you should be prioritizing your health and your fitness. So do it first. I'll always say this, and I'll say this forever and ever: train first. If you want to do yoga at night after a long, hard day, yoga after a long day is great. Some of you like morning yoga. I have nothing against morning yoga. Bending, stretching, twisting, all of it, especially physically, is great. Meditation in the morning, awesome. But if you have limited time, do your weights first thing. Do your yoga in the evening to wind down before bed. It's a great way to de-stress from the day. Just my opinion. If you had to choose one place for lifting and one place for yoga, I would do lifting first. But of course, you can wake up and for 5 minutes, you can do some mobility and maybe a couple sun salutations. You could definitely do a little bit of yoga and bending and moving. You have to prepare for your weightlifting. But train first, lift heavy first, and then in the evening, do yoga to unwind. That's my take on it. My opinion. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's get into another one. Sarah says, community is where I struggle. So we went from pillar number 7 to pillar number 1. I'm not good at making friends or acquaintances, and I'm 400 miles from my hometown. I just started at a new gym, so maybe I can try to build my community there. Well, Sarah, you have the Swole fam. Aww. You have us. So, of course, an online community and network is different than in person. But of course, Sarah, these Swole fam members, these are people in the wild. They're out there. So you can also interact and hop into the Telegram chat. I'm not saying you have to share private information or anything like that, but there are people that live close around and that have met up and things like that. So anyway, yes, the gym is fantastic. The gym is going to be a great place to meet people. You're getting friendly with the same people that you see when you walk in, the people at the front desk, other trainers there, the owner. If it's a small gym, it's great to build your community, and I highly recommend it. You will start interacting more with people that are interested in things that you are interested in. And a lot of times at your local gym, especially if it's a privately owned gym, they'll have events. They'll have a Christmas party, or they'll have some sort of Christmas workout, and everyone comes in a costume and hangs out and brings some steak and some food. You know, it's that type of stuff. You're not going to necessarily see that at an LA Fitness or a 24-hour fitness, but if it's a local community-owned gym and there's a dude who owns it, that's a great thing to also plug into. That, local church, other types of organizations, but definitely the gym. Again, do things that you want to do. Do things that you want to do. Do things, explore, try different things, figure out who you're about, learn more about yourself, meditate, read books, go for walks, go to the gym, talk to people, be friendly. This is just a part of being somewhere new. When I first graduated college, I knew I always wanted to live in Florida, at least to start, because I always loved it. I always came down on vacation. I never wanted to leave. So that's how I determined where I wanted to live. I came from up north, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and then I moved down here immediately when I graduated from college, because I always came down to visit my great-grandparents and my grandparents, and I never wanted to leave. So why not live where you want a vacation? So that's where I started, and I came down here, and I've been down here for, over 20 years. And I figured once you get started somewhere, you're going to get stuck there, or you're going to be there for a while. Now, just because you're living where you are now doesn't mean you have to live there. But a lot of people get dug in. They get a job, they get a flow, they meet people, and they stay in an area for a while. So I figured I want to be there with the weather and all that stuff. And I don't regret it at all. One of the best decisions of my life is to figure out where I like to live. I love the sun. I love the weather. Not a fan of the hurricanes, but in terms of natural disasters, a hurricane I think is my favorite because it's so easy to survive a hurricane. And I'm not saying people haven't died and perished, but a lot of times, just to go on a little rant here, a lot of times it's people that are going outside and driving or walking in water and there's a downed power line, or they're outside in a hurricane and a tree or something falls. It's like, yeah, don't go outside. Don't be good. Don't go surfing during a hurricane. All these people go out surfing, fucking lunatics. But what I like about hurricanes, and I'll just wrap with this. If you listen to the show, you've heard this before, so bear with me. But I like knowing when the natural disasters are coming. You'll know if there's a snowstorm. Okay, fine. But, you know, hurricanes, they come and they go. They'll blow through, they'll do whatever damage, and then they're out. But at least you know they're coming. You can prepare. Earthquake, it's like, boom. It's just, you're in the middle of it. Mudslide. I mean, there's things that are torrential that are hard to avoid. If you have flooding, that's different. That's different. But at least they give you a heads up. At least you know what's coming, and you can at least prepare or evacuate or things like that. So, not saying it's always good, but, and I think also people always assume that earthquakes, we see too many movies, right? We see too many movies with earthquakes, like the whole earth splits open and separates and people are falling in this giant fiery chasm like Lord of the Rings, when a lot of times it's like a rumble, then it's over. But anyway, we got another post here from Linda. And Linda says, when I started in September 2024, April 5th, 2025, down 40 pounds, this is one of the hardest things I have done. I like when I'm reminded to go to the fucking gym because I respond when I do. I need that kick in the butt sometimes. You have kept me going. Thank you. Huge shout out to Linda. You're awesome. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Good for you. Congratulations. You look like a different person. You look like a different person. If you didn't put those pictures next to one another, you know, I would have to do a double take and be like, oh, it's the same person. I have to look for a while. But man, look at what 40 pounds can do. And of course, if you're going to the gym, you're lifting weights, you've probably lost more than that in fat and water weight and bloating and inflammation. Hopefully you've listened to some other content about proper nutrition. So you lost fat, you've lost water from bloating and inflammation. Looking great. Good for you. Keep it up. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate you. Let's get into some questions, fam. Hashtag Ask Papa Swole. You know I'm feeling frisky today. You know it's that kind of a day. So we're going to load up the Tiki for some questions and drop in the comments down below if you're watching on Rumble or YouTube at The Daily Swole. And fam, if you haven't yet, make sure even if you like to watch, make sure if you use Apple Podcast or use Spotify, take a moment and leave a 5-star review on the show. It definitely promotes it. It boosts it a little bit, and then we'll suggest it to some more people. So it really helps when you share the show. We don't get a ton of natural distribution for obvious reasons. So if you guys share it, there's nothing that can stop any of the powers that be and the algorithms from censoring that. You can share it with family and friends, and they can bang their ear holes with some knowledge cock too. Okay. So let's get into some questions. We'll take one from Instagram stories. Adra, A-R, Papa Swolio. Does counting calories really help with weight loss? Yes, but at what cost? And let me explain. If you're eating garbage foods, you don't just have to deal with and be concerned about the lack of nutrients. You're also going to have to worry about the lack of satiety. You're going to have to deal with inflammation and other side effects from the ultra processed ingredients with low quality foods. So yes, energy balance matters, but not at the expense of food quality. So you want to focus on food quality first, and it's going to remove the cravings. It's going to improve your skin. It's going to improve your sleep. It's going to improve your hormone balance. It's going to improve things like joint pain or brain fog, psoriasis, eczema, insulin resistance. It's going to improve so many aspects of your life that you can't quantify. So it's not just about counting numbers. That's what people use as a lazy excuse to not address other more complicated issues with people's lifestyle habits. It's much easier to say, hey, count your calories. Eat this little bag of cookies. It's low calorie. It's 100 calories of toxic garbage. And everyone's like, ooh, I love my fitness protein cookies. No, eat real food, and you'll actually improve those aspects of your life that will make it easy and literally mindless to keep fat off and to build muscle, especially if you're lifting heavy weights and focusing on that. But in terms of getting rid of inflammation, extra body fat that you don't need, it's coming down to your environment and your nutrition. Annie says, I grew up in an earthquake-prone area. After a while, you stop noticing it unless it's a big one. Same thing with anywhere. Yeah, same thing with Florida. Same thing with Florida. Unless it's a Category 3, no one really pays attention. A hurricane's coming, Category 1. Everyone's boarding up, and no one cares, really. The only people that are boarding up are, you board up. It's simple. But you're only boarding up if you don't have hurricane or quality, maybe windows, or if you're in an area where it's specifically, but we don't do anything like that unless it's, direct and it's really, really bad. And a lot of times when you're boarding up and doing stuff, it's in areas where there's flooding. In Florida, it really depends on where you are, but there's some areas of Miami that are just really, really bad and prone to flooding. But it all drains pretty quickly. But yeah, when there's a tropical storm or a hurricane, there's always messages when I was down here. People text me like, hey, is that storm coming for you? Like, are you guys ready? Ready for what? Oh, yeah, it's going to be some wind and rain, and it's going to be back. Not to mention FPL down here, the power company is really, really good. I've never had issues with them in our area. At least they're fantastic. They get stuff back on if there's power down or there's an outage. They're here like right away. So very efficient with that kind of stuff. Alex says, I'm in KC and tornadoes are just another week. Yeah, of course, if you have a real big thing hitting and there's a major, then you do what you can. But my point is, at least you know it's coming. You're like, hey, this is coming. Just keep an eye out for that. Donkey Prab, what's your favorite food? Steak. Thanks for playing. Mateo Camarota. Papa Swolio, what's the most important part of the leg to train? The whole thing, yes. I'm going to say yes. What's the most important part of the leg to train? The leg. All of it. So there is no most important part. It's all important. Every muscle is important. You have these muscles for a reason. Every muscle is going to do different things, but you want to make sure every muscle is strong and healthy, ideally. Even muscles in your neck, you don't have to need to lift like hundreds of pounds with your neck, but you can still do resistance bands. You could still just do mobility and stretching and dead hangs and, hang your neck back, sphinx pose, like yoga and yin. It's great. Move the muscles, the toes, the foot muscles. All these things are important, right? So in terms of the legs, I think what most people don't understand, and if you don't know kinesiology and you don't know about like the joints and where the muscles attach and how they act on the joints in the body, you're not going to understand all the nuances with the hip and the knee because you have a lot of muscles that cross both joints. So there is no one important muscle. They all cross the joints. For most people, I will say that very possibly in terms of strength training, if you had to pick one body part to focus on, it would be posterior chain. If you only you're like, all right, I'm going to do one exercise, probably the best movement would be some sort of hip hinge would probably be the best thing if you were only going to do one exercise. And I don't like doing those kinds of theoreticals. If you could only pick one exercise, and it wouldn't be a deadlift, it'd probably be a stiff leg deadlift or a Jefferson curl or an RDL. The glutes are so important, and most people don't train their glutes well or properly or consistently. And because the vast majority of people that are not exercising, they're sitting down a lot. So it really over lengthens the glutes. It really inhibits the glutes. And it's what holds you up. It drives you, it powers you, helps you stand up. The glutes do so many things. And if you're training your glutes, you're training a lot of other muscles in the leg. So I always like to tell people, prioritize the glutes. Prioritize the glutes in your training. I like doing a lot of glute work first a lot of times in my workouts. I'll do some sort of like elevated foot step back lunges, really focus on the hip hinge, good mornings, stiff legs, 45-degree hypers, glute bridges. I like starting my leg workouts with calves and glutes, and then I'll follow up with like adductors and quads and hamstrings and stuff, depending on what I'm doing. But in terms of getting big legs, we'll stay here for a second. If you want to get big legs, let's just expand this question. So if Mateo was asking this question in the sense of what's the most important part of the leg to train to get big legs, well, yeah, the glutes. And of course, glutes, hamstrings, quads, and adductors. Hey, it's okay. But there's a lot of great crossover with the glutes and the hamstrings in terms of the hip hinge. So if you're doing a proper glute movement, AK, or also doing a hamstring hip hinge movement, you're going to get a lot of the hamstring and the glutes. And you actually can hit the posterior adductors if you're doing something like stiff legs or RDLs or something of that sort, or 45-degree hypers. But quads, so some sort of squat, leg press, leg extension, and adductors. I would say the most underrated, underappreciated, underknown, underdiscussed muscle group in the legs is the adductors. Inner thigh. If you want big legs, you have to have big thighs, big inner thighs. So a lot of times people are looking for quad sweep. They're looking for outer quad. They want their quads to sweep outwards. That's genetic. A lot of people that have that, they're just taking a lot of sauce, and they just have big quads in general. So if you want big quads and you want your quads to be wider, then guess what? Get bigger quads. It's not complicated. You just have to get bigger. So the muscle has to go somewhere, and it's going to go up, out. There's circular fibers. Like they're going to be like they're going to grow wide. But the inner thigh is not going to, because if you look at the anatomy, the vastus medialis, it's not a big sweeping muscle. The inside sweep. So if you want outside sweep, it's vastus lateralis. You're doing squats or leg extensions. Boom, simple, done. You don't have to do any fancy angle and out to the side and into the front. It's big thighs. It's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. But the teardrop muscle in the quad, it's not like sweeping inside. It has that bulge around the knee. That's the vastus medialis oblique, but you're not going to get inside thigh. You're not going to get that meat. That's adductors. So you want to do some sort of a deep squat, like a hack squat, or Bulgarian split squat. You want to get down there. Hip hinge, definitely for posterior adductors. The adductor machine for the inner thigh, the anterior portions of the adductor magnus and such. And there you go. Big inner thighs. You want big thighs? Train your adductors. How do I get rid of my fupa, Lacey? Stop eating cake. No more cake. No more flan. Your fupa. What's your nutrition like? Check out swolenormousx.com and check out the elimination diet and our 7 pillars. Give that a look. It's going to come down first. I want you guys to focus on the quality of the foods and, of course, getting on a strength training program. All right, let's see. Good question from Mateo. Just Courtney, Papa Swolio. I started back at the gym 2 months ago, and I feel like I've been eating cleaner. The ER is in parentheses, so we'll see about that. Since then, I have seemed to have gained numbers on the scale, but measurements went down. Is that normal, or am I screwing up? So back in the gym for 2 months, you think you've been eating better, so probably a little bit better. And you've gained on the scale, but measurements went down. Yeah, it's normal. I don't know how you're weighing yourself. Make sure you wake up, go to the bathroom, pee, poo, and then weigh yourself without drinking anything. That's the only time you should weigh yourself. Everything else is just nonsense. You're not really going to be building muscle yet, but yeah, it's very normal for the scale to kind of go up and fluctuate. Because remember also when you're training and you're exercising, now you're getting some, in a good way, inflammation from the muscles, the muscle response. At the beginning, you're also going to be maybe retaining some water just for that inflammation. Your body hasn't adapted to the strength training yet. So it's very important to understand that your body is kind of like in a state of reaction to a new stress. So give it some time, focus more on the food quality, lifting weights, keep going, and don't obsess with the scale, because remember, you're building muscle. Your body is shifting gears, starting to adapt. Just make sure you keep on lifting heavy. Try to get more reps, up the weight, lift heavy. As a female, I'm assuming Courtney, female, make sure that you are lifting weights and you're trying to build muscle. You're trying to go heavier. Don't just do high reps. Don't push yourself to mild discomfort. You have to train and train hard. And try to put on as much muscle as possible, because it's hard to put on muscle, period. Trust me when I say this, you are going to love the results. You're going to love the results. So do your best to put on muscle. And then if you're interested in joining us over at swolenormousx.com, you can download the app. You can start with the elimination diet and focusing on customizing your nutrition if you're serious about not just eating cleaner, but eating properly for you and customizing your nutrition. Nunu Ham, what up? Hi, Papa. How to get a big round booty? Oh, yeah. How do I get that big old pooper? How do I get that cake? Nunu's opening a bakery. Nunu's opening a bakery. How do I get that 7-layer cake? My glutes don't seem to get any reaction, and I've told to do squats to gain booty. Help. Yeah, anyone that tells you to do squats to get a booty is ignorant, being lazy, doesn't really want to answer the question. You know, I mean, squats are great. Nothing against squats, but I will clarify that squats don't focus on the booty. It depends on how you do them. Most people's form is whack, and it's not ideal. So if you're trying to target the glutes, there are better exercises. So like an elevated step back lunge, making sure that your front foot or your front knee is not going too far over your toes and you're getting that forward lean, is one of the best exercises for glutes. You could do 45-degree hyperextensions with a band around your back or your shoulders or your neck, one of those like long monster bands. You could do 45-degree hypers with a barbell, with a dumbbell, with a plate. You can do that also just holding the weights. That's going to get glutes too. It's going to get a little bit more hamstrings. You can do RDLs. You could do stiff leg deadlifts, although both of those, RDLs more glutes and adductors. If you keep your legs more straight, it's going to be more hamstrings. You could do hip bridges or use a glute bridge machine. Machines are better than the bar. The bar is kind of a pain in the ass to set up, and you don't always get the best range of motion. Is that Pinks? Hold on a second. I'm going to get Pinkston Churchill in here. Hold on. Pinkston Churchill is here. Pinky. Okay. Let me get the Pinkston. Oh, you just wanted to come in here and see Daddy for the show? You wanted to see Daddy for the show. Oh, you just got up? Oh, you just got up? Oh, you just got up. Oh, you just got up. Oh, the Churchy. Oh, the Pinkston Churchill. Oh. Oh, she just woke up. A little church intermission. Pinkster mission. Yeah. Oh, she's so cute. May I bite you? Oh, good. This speaks to Churchill. Yeah. Okay. Such a good girl. Such a good girl. Okay, Rufus, go to your... Oh, all right. Everyone's up and excited. Okay, you can stay wherever you want. You don't have to be on your bed. You want to stay there? Okay. All right. Thank you guys for the patience. Good girl. So let's see. My glutes don't seem to I think I answered the question, Nunu, right? I think I answered the question. So in other words, you want to make sure you're doing an exercise that's going to target the glutes. And make sure that you're training your glutes with intent. Train them first in your workouts. I would recommend doing glutes every other day, either one set, one all-out set every other day, at least 2 to 3 times a week. Okay? Meaning like every other day or every 2 days. So like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Monday, Thursday, Sunday, repeat. So like every 72 hours. So doing one all-out set or 2 all-out sets depending on the volume, and make sure you could start with 2 or 3 sets and then see how quickly you recover. Make sure you're adding reps or weight and load these exercises, and train it first in your session. Train it first and prioritize it. All right. So if you have any follow-up, feel free. Okay, let's see. Nick has an announcement. What's this announcement, Nick? Oh, fuck yes. Papa released Toxic Muscularity in the oversized shirt. Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, I was going to pick it up over here. I guess it's not over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got Toxic Muscularity. Go check it out. Those oversized tees are fire. Lazaro. Yeah, someone asked me, why are you wearing a kid's shirt? I'm not. This is the Curl Bears. It's not Care Bears, Curl Bears. They're all curling. This is the Curl Bears shirt. Not the Care Bears. This is the Curl Bears. So get it straight. Shell asks, Papa, do you like foosball? Foosballs for the devil. Foosballs for the devil. Where's that from? Someone called the movie. Foosballs for the devil. Let's see. Nick. Nick's got a follow-up question to that orgasm about the toxic muscularity oversized. Nick says, Papa Swolio, how can I justify to my this is an important question. How can I justify to my fiance for spending $245 to get one of each color of the toxic muscularity oversized heavy t-shirts? That's a great question. How can you justify, Nick, my boy? I'm going to look right at you when I say this. Nick, you are a man. You are a big, strong, hulking man. You do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Fuck yeah!
And if she wants that Nikki D, she's going to say, why don't you get another one? Why don't you get 2 of each? Let's see. Storm Machine 97. Papa, I've been trying to understand why grains/starches are inflammatory for the gut biome, but not fruits. And I read it's because the fruits have antioxidants and that balance the free radicals. Yeah, this is why I test things myself. You're going to find certain things. I've always been a fan, for the most part, of white rice. I like white rice. I like organic jasmine white rice. We wash it several times. It digests great with me. I feel great. I don't have it all the time, though. I actually prefer white rice to sweet potatoes lately. So, I go through different phases and I find what works and I stick with that for a while. And if I have a craving or want something, or, maybe I will, adjust something that I do. Fruits are great. Just got to find what works best for you. So a lot of grains, especially in this country, I know rice is a grain, but in terms of wheat, and this stuff is just sprayed with tons of glyphosate. There's wheat germ agglutinin, there's atrazine, a lot of these pesticides and stuff that spray with grains, and just the way that they have been genetically modified really fuck people up. So if you're grinding and you're making your own sourdough and you're getting, grains from other countries and, you know, you can really go down the rabbit hole and do that kind of stuff. You can, and I will say, so that could be really beneficial, and people really like that, and it feels great in their system. And we talked about this yesterday. Understand that when you heal your gut, when you go through this process, when you come back to certain foods, you're going to react a lot better. Your immune system is going to be better. Your gut lining is going to be healed. Your gut biome is going to be restored and in proper balance, and you're going to feel great. And then you can add and try different things and just try to do it from a holistic standpoint. Be logical with ingredients. Don't use artificial crap. Don't use dyes. Don't use ultra processed oils and fats. And it's really not that complicated. It's really not that complicated. Nick says, is the symbol on the Curl Bear's belly Papa's face? Yeah, it's on all their bellies. See the Care Bears? The Curl Bears. The logo's on there just like they used to have in the cartoon. Water boy. The water's always cold. Bobby Boucher. Bobby Boucher. Yes, mama. Water sucks. It really... Do I have any water boy soundboards? I don't think I do. I have the Billy Madison one. I need some more soundboards.
Chlorophyll? More like borophyll.
Okay. A. Sanchez, Papa Swolio, pre-workout, any recommendations? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. If you need a boost, nothing like a glass of orange juice and some raw honey. That's enough just to light a fire under your butt. If you need some caffeine, just have some coffee. But I wouldn't recommend, a lot of times people associate pre-workout with stimulus. So just understand, pre-workout is anything you do before you work out. It's anything. So if you like to, put a handful of salt in your mouth and slap yourself in the face, okay, you dunk your face in, jump in the cold plunge, or dunk your head in cold water. That works to wake you up. It really depends. So if you need a boost, again, sugar before a workout's fantastic, especially for strength training. So I think it also depends on what you're doing for your physical activity. And when I say physical activity, it's your training. So specifically, whatever you want to do or whatever you need to do should be geared towards improving and optimizing your physical training. When it comes to what we do is usually heavy strength training and building muscle. So that's going to come down to your preference also. What I like about in terms of honey or orange juice and taking 2 scoops of shut the fuck up, like Michelle says, yeah, absolutely, is that it's light. Good carbs and easy to get in. Not going to weigh me down, not going to be heavy in my stomach. And then I can go and make some gains. So when it comes to everything else, you can have electrolytes. You can buy the raw ingredients. Find things that you like, whether it's agmatine or citrulline or magnesium, sodium, potassium, right? An electrolyte mix, creatine, glutamine. It depends on what you take other times of the day, but a lot of those things in any combination, and see what you like and see what works best for you. But at least you're making it yourself and you're weighing it out yourself and you're saving money long term and you're not getting all the additives. Nunu, I was unsure on exercises. I got too much opposing info. You are trustworthy, Papa. LOL. Well, I appreciate it. What I'm going to tell you, and it doesn't mean that I know everything, but if I have information on the subject, especially something that I've been doing for decades, I'm just going to tell you what works for me, what I've seen work for Mama Swolio and God, thousands of people. So when you're talking about glutes, I got you. I got you, fam. I got you. And if I don't know, of course, I'll tell you I don't know. But I know glutes. I'm the glute whisperer. I talk to them. That was my original That's what I was going to do. It was like before Swolenormous, I was going to do a business name idea was the Glute Whisperer. And I was like, I don't want to focus just on glutes. The Glute Whisperer. Maybe maybe that's going to be, maybe I'll do a glute program, right? Specifically, we have like the glute awareness program. That's like activation, but like a glute mass. The Glute Whisperer. That was kind of like an idea. Maybe I'll do that. Call the program the Glute Whisperer. I think I'll do it. Jay Cheeth, 33. You briefly mentioned warm-ups yesterday. I'm on week 3 of 90-day dash. Should I be doing a full body Swole in 7 for mobility and doing 1 to 2 warm-up sets for each exercise, or maybe you have a different way? Whatever you need to do to execute whatever program we're doing, there's always suggestions. So, for example, a lot of the workouts will say Swole 7. It could be a combination of different things from different Swole 7s. It's just an idea to get started. So the number one thing about a warm-up or a preparation is to make sure that you're ready to execute whatever you're doing at whatever intensity you need to do it to optimize the execution and to minimize the risk of injury and such. So when it comes to, let's say, 90-day dash or maximum Swole, for example, I'm not warming up, prepping, whatever I'm not doing it to exhaust myself. So I might do a little something to get my body temperature up, because actually getting warmth in the muscles and blood flowing and getting your body temperature up is good for neural impulse, right? For sending your body electrical signals to the muscles and just the speed of the motor unit recruitment. So it's good to get warmth. Things can stretch and mobilize better when there's blood and fluid in the tissue, and it's the temperature has increased, so it allows for less friction and all those things. So that's important. But I'm also not fatiguing myself, because I want to make sure I'm not exhausting myself and out of breath and I'm wiped out and I've done 50 warm-up sets and, I already worked out before my workout and then my workout sucks. So a full body Swole 7 is great if that helps you feel on point for doing the programming as described and to your best of your ability. Awesome. If you feel that you're not performing at your best, it's something to maybe look at, but that sounds totally great, because a full body Swole 7 is some rotation, you're bending, you're moving. I'll do maybe some dead hangs and I'll swing a club a little bit. I'll do, circles for my upper body, and then I'll do my warm-up sets for the exercise, and then I'm ready to go. I'm ready to push. So it's really going to come down to what you like best. And why don't we get that? Members that are in the comments, what's your preferred preparation / warm-up for the 90-day dash or maximum Swole? What's your preferred warm-up method? Because remember, warm-up is just, I always like to clarify, it's preparation. You want to be warm, but a lot of times people take warm-up as like, I need to be sweating and feel warm and feel hot, and you can actually fatigue yourself before you're training very easily, much more than people realize. But it's also what you get used to. If you do like an extended warm-up often, it's not going to fatigue you as much as if it's the first time you've ever done it. Just make sure you're not wiping yourself out before you start your lifting. So how do you warm up for and prepare for your working sets and your working set? Store Machine 97. Drop your questions, comments down below. What's bad about milk pasteurization? I found a farm that has raw milk, but I'm hesitant to make that switch. Can anyone explain the benefit? Raw milk is amazing. Pasteurization denatures the proteins, in my experience, and also in terms of the healthy bacteria. And there's a lot of other, I don't have the list in front of me, but there's a lot of not just logical benefits, but I find raw dairy not only to be delicious, absolutely, I can taste the difference. I feel better. Remember, your body is essentially a bacteria hotel. That's what your body is. Okay, we think we're something different. We're really not. We have brain, we have some sort of tap into consciousness and self-awareness, but it's really just, our body is just tissue and bacteria and little tiny cells that are interacting at a microscopic level. It's just we're just bacteria. We just have billions and trillions of bacteria on our body and inside and everything we eat. So your gut is just tons of bacteria. So the reason why I'm saying this is if you have inflammation, a lot of times people have inflammation because you have overgrowth of, and when I say good bacteria and bad bacteria, I'm trying to create a concept. Okay? I don't even think that there's necessarily good and bad bacteria. There's a good and bad balance of all that bacteria, where if, let's say you're taking antibiotics just means anti-bio, anti-life. So it kills everything. It kills beneficial bacteria. So we'll say beneficial bacteria and then harmful bacteria. So obviously, you're always going to have a balance, whether it's 90-10 or 50-50, whatever that balance is, you want to have the benefit. You want to have that balance, like a scale. And if you are feeding yourself toxic crap, things that eradicate the beneficial bacteria, you're going to have overgrowth. And overgrowth just means that the potentially harmful bacteria are in greater quantities. And then you have maybe other proteins and certain things that break down that can't build up, and certain amino acids that get consumed or are not available. So cells, it leads to certain hormones getting released, and the cells in the gut lining get inflamed and the gaps separate. You have leaky gut, and you have things that are getting into the bloodstream that shouldn't be getting into the bloodstream. And then your T cells in your body are attacking, quote, invaders and things that shouldn't be in the bloodstream. And then you have inflammation, and then you have gut like distension and water retention and all the, and skin conditions. And so you want to populate beneficial bacteria to balance with the potentially, harmful bacteria, but it's really the balance of those two things. So if you're eradicating all the beneficial bacteria in the milk, and you're removing all the quality fat and all these other things, you're heating it. Just like anything else, you're heating it, you're changing the molecular structures, you are adding heat, you're adding energy to the system, and you're eradicating the natural balance of beneficial and harmful bacteria in the milk. And in this case, I've noticed a massive difference consuming raw dairy versus in the past pasteurized. I drink kefir, raw yogurt, raw cheese, raw butter. I have zero problems. I feel amazing. I've never felt better. It's just it's a scam. It's a scam. And if you have a healthier system, going back to what I was talking about earlier, if your gut is healthier, it can handle things differently. So, and I was talking to Mama Swole about this. People act like, you got salmonella. I got salmonella, and there's salmonella in this, and or E. coli or this. I guarantee I've been exposed to all that stuff. Like, I guarantee there's probably, at some there's salmonella in something that I'm eating, or E. coli. It's just I have a healthy immune system that will neutralize when these things come into my body. You think you don't have salmonella or like E. coli and stuff like in your body or around? Like, you're eating most of the things. You ever see those studies that most of the things you ever touch just have fecal matter? There's poop on it. There's poop on everything. Have you seen that stuff? There's just shit everywhere. Yeah, because people are scratching their ass and their balls and, picking your nose, and then you have dogs around and particles don't disappear. They're just everywhere. So in other words, you need to improve your immune system. And how do you improve your immune system? You eat healthy food, you get quality sleep, you get sunlight, you exercise, you lower your stress, you allow your body to be able to fight off these things that are everywhere. COVID, AKA like the flu, like people are, oh my God, I'm getting this. Why did some people just feel fine? It's like you're healthier immune systems. Why do you think it was fine for like 99.7% of people? One, it was really going to take out people that were compromised. You have 5 diseases and diabetes and chronic inflammation, and you're 85 years old, past the life expectancy anyway. And people that are unhealthy are going to succumb to all diseases a lot easier, all viruses. They're just compromised. Most people are walking around compromised. but don't eat shit. So again, raw dairy, the fear or what they try to punish you with is if you drink this raw dairy, if you drink this, you're going to die. I've had raw dairy that I had in the freezer for like, I didn't realize it was in there for like 2 years or whatever. I'm like, I've had food poisoning, I guess you would say, but that was, don't drink old cream. Who knew? It's like, yeah, that didn't work out. I had it was like colostrum that was in the freezer too long. I thought it was a newer one or whatever. And like, yeah, I had a couple bad experiences, but it went away and I won't do that again. So, don't put dairy in the freezer and then have it after like 6 months or a year or 2 years. That's just common sense. I didn't check the date close enough, or I didn't care. I forget. Yeah, don't eat like 2-year-old raw cream. Does that mean that raw dairy is bad for you? It's like, no, don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Yeah. So, but listen, if you're healthier, you can fight off most things. All right. When was your last haircut? 2 weeks ago. I don't know if we cut my hair 2 weeks ago, but I get my beard and my hair washed, and every few times I'll trim the hair. Mess 41, question of the century. Gas station sushi versus old raw cream. Oh my God. If I had to choose, oh my God. I might. Well, gas station sushi is a roll of the dice. Old raw cream is probably a no-brainer. Like, that's going to fuck you up. I had a bad experience with raw cream. I've never purchased gas station sushi because I'm not an idiot. I think I would go with. I can't say the word that I'd go with sushi. Gas station sushi. Well, at least is it fresh? When I say fresh, is it like they just put it out, or it's gas station sushi and you're on some like interstate in the middle of Kansas or something? You're like, I don't know how long it's been there. I'd have to go with the sushi because I feel like that's rolling. I feel like that's a gamble. That's like roulette. Gas station sushi is black or red roulette. There's a 50-50 chance. Old raw cream, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I didn't. I mean, I made it through, but it was like half an hour of just the, that's true. That's true. Sushi could have a parasite. That's true. The sushi can last. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. I do know. I do know about the cream. That was bad though. That was bad, but it did pass. Good question. Kalingaidu, Papa Swole, how to increase your testosterone? Wink face. What's that about?
Hi, puppy.
What's that about? Why the wink face? Better sleep, better food, lifting weights, getting sun, sunning your nips, sunning your ball sack and your butt, getting sun on your body, eating steak, eggs, fruit, dates, oysters, raw dairy, taking care of your health. Or I guess if you're winking, I don't know, maybe injecting yourself with TRT if that's your thing. Speaking of which, Harry Harrison, are you natural? Yes, I'm not taking any peptides, or whether you want to say peptides make you not natural, but I'm not taking any like injectables or anything. I'm just coffee, steak, meat, dairy, sleep. But I'm open to TRT. I haven't done it yet. I'm open to it. I always talk about it. I feel like if someone asks, may as well go over it again. The Noir, Papa Swole, best exercise for getting rid of thigh fat, proper nutrition, and strength training. There's no best exercise. You can't spot reduce fat. The Real Muttley, Papa Swole, when did you start taking care of yourself and working out? Also, do you think it's ever too late to start? Well, I'm not even going to answer that part of the question because we just did like yesterday or the day before, or was it over the weekend in Swolosophy? Do you ever think it's too late to start? Yes and no. Don't use that as an excuse to not start today. The best time to start was yesterday. Like the best time to start was 20 years ago, 10 years ago. So just do it. Just fucking do it. It's getting later and later. It's not getting earlier. It's always getting later. So start today. When did you start taking care of yourself? Probably a few years ago. Like really taking care of myself, probably within the last 5 years. And that's by my standards. And the reason why I say that is because even when I started Swolenormous and I was lifting weights and eating grass-fed beef and all this stuff, like I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't getting quality sleep. I was doing, up nights. Like I was not sleeping well. So I'm absolutely objectively, I would say it's not until I really started focusing on getting quality sleep. I'm always starting to take care of myself. That's the way it feels like. I'm always fine tuning and like, oh, let me try to do a little bit better. And that felt really good. Let me do more of that. But I've been doing a lot of stuff that I'm doing now currently before, but not as much with the sleep. And I've also tried different nutritional protocols and stuff over the years, trying to take care of myself. But again, objectively taking care of myself or drinking like kale smoothies, like that's not taking care of myself. Thought I was, or was trying to, but that was definitely not helping. Don't recommend any of those leafy shits. Fucking leaves. Goddamn leaves. All right, last questions. Last question, last chance. Nice t-shirts, love it. This is the Curl Bears. Check out the latest Curl Bears drop. Link is in the bio, papaswolio.com. Come on over. We're going to finish the rest of the show up. We got some balls deep content to get into, so if you want to catch the rest of the podcast, come on over. We're on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole, Spotify, Apple Podcast, The Daily Swole. And if you go to the merch site, papaswolio.com, you'll also see links for the memberships, links for the podcast, links for the app. All that's in the menu on the merch site, and plus 20% off. 20% off everything, including the brand new Curl Bears. And we dropped Curl Bears was... Oh, My Swole Pony. My Swole Pony is now available. So My Swole Pony and the Curl Bears are both available. 20% off everything, papaswolio.com. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Let's go balls dizzy. That's deep. Ooh, that's deep. Oh, yes.
Hi, puppy.
I like it. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got. What do we got? Balls Disney. Pick a number 1, 2, 3. Ooh, no, 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. I got scared for a second. It was one from yesterday. It was that one that looked like a thumb. Well, you're like, which video was that? The one that looked like the Trunchbull in like the gym outfit. Was that the Trunchbull? Did she wear like gray sweats in Matilda? Let's see. Positive Charisma. Number 3, PK. PK's always right. PK's got like a fast...
What's in the box?
PK's got like a direct line to Rumble. Always getting in with the first one. Shame white people. Shame. Shame. Shame.
As a white person, if you are not constantly talking to your family and friends and basically shaming them into...
If you're not constantly shaming your family and friends, try it sometime. You won't have any.
Caring about the issues, you're not doing your fucking job as a white person.
Shame.
Shame. Shame.
You're just not. Yesterday, I was successfully able to shame people into staying at the protest.
So was there a retard protest the other day? Was that something I saw on the news? Was that like a certain day they all coordinated to stand around with signs? I love a woke-tard protest. I love it because all the crazies come out. All the crazies come out. All the crazies fucking come out. It's like they're all walking around like an S&M bondage and like, oh, Trump's in bondage. It's like, this is a weird fucking pride parade. That's what it is. It's a weird political, I mean, pride is political, but it's like, it's a weird parade. And I don't think it helps. I don't think it does what they think it does. I'll tell you why. One, here's what you're doing. Okay? I'm going to pause this here. Here's what you're doing. You're showing everyone that your contribution to society doesn't affect society at all. Because if you're all at the protest, then who's doing all the work? How is the country functioning completely fine while you're standing around holding signs? So for one thing, your job and your existence is not a factor. Because I was around yesterday, felt totally fine. Nothing changed. You're also would rather stand on the side of a road rather than provide value. So there's that too. You have nothing better to do. You have nothing better to do than stand around and you're showing everyone that you are mentally damaged. Even if you don't like Trump, just to stand around, I'm not going to go to a fucking protest and be like, I got shit to do. I have better things to do than to go and like complain. You know? It's like, Jesus Christ. Here, look at me do nothing for society. Look at me. I don't have a job. I'm just going to stand around and you're not convincing anyone. Either they're laughing at you or they're also retarded. They're like, you hold those signs, girl. I don't think they realize how many people are just laughing at them. Like, look at these fucking idiots.
That we were at, and it works. You need to let white people know that they are the weakest link. They are the reason we are in the fascist country that we are in today. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say that to your fellow white people. You need to say it. You need to get comfortable talking about race, saying black, saying brown, talking about issues. You need to start getting comfortable, and you need to make sure that the white people in your life get more angry. And even if they're not angry, and even if they're sort of annoyed that you even mentioned it, shame them, make them stay, make them have the conversations.
Yeah, shame them, call them a meanie, make them have the conversations. If they're whine, make them. Well, thank you for letting everyone know that you are not an active contributor to the society and that whatever you do is unnecessary because you're standing around complaining. So that's great. All right, we're getting some lightning and storming, so hopefully, let's keep going. Hopefully, if this cuts off, the video won't save, so we'll only have the stream. Just sometimes the power flickers if there's a storm and lightning and shit. All right, let's do non-plus-sized people. Non-plus-sized people.
What's in the box?
Just because I'm in a mood, prepare yourself for a rant. I am so pissed off that people who are not plus sizes can shop anywhere.
Oh my God, if I'm not morbidly obese, I could find clothes that fit human bodies.
They don't have to do it online exclusively.
I have to buy clothes online exclusively. I can't go to stores and find clothes unless they're like specifically stretchy material or something. I can't buy clothes in stores.
They don't have to pay like a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, of course, some brands are expensive even for straight size people, but you know what I mean? I just want specific clothes. I'm going for a vision and I can't find anything. And it makes me so mad. I just want to have a hot girl summer. Is that too much to ask?
Hey, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Just stare at her face. I gotta mute for a second. Hold on. Okay. Horrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Mark. Where's Mark? Okay. Sometimes there's a storm and I'm like, this is gonna... There's gonna be a power surge or something. All right, former fat people. Ooh, rain's getting bad.
What's in the box?
Former fat people. Here we go.
Some of the most unhappy kinds of fat people are former fat people. People that have lost a lot of weight, that spent some of their life fat, maybe a lot of their life fat, and are not fat anymore. In my experience, those people never get to a point in which they're happy with their body. They never get to a point in which they've reached the right weight and they feel attractive. They feel like they've made it and they can be loved now and they can have the kind of life that they want. It just doesn't happen. And the thing that does happen is that they realize that it's unattainable. So when you're fat, you can kind of like have this myth of what it would be like to be thin and have all these like thoughts that if you got thin, then you would have this, this, and that. You would have a relationship and you would have a job and you would have love and you'd have good sex and you'd have a body you could show off. But more times than not, in my experience, people that lose a lot of weight don't get those things. They still dislike their body. They still want to be in a different body. And that is because they are not the problem. Their body is not the problem. It is obviously beauty standards and fat phobia that's the problem. So it's not a problem they can fix, even by changing their body, even by fixing their body. They're still in a world that has European beauty standards, has a certain kind of thin person that is seen as beautiful, and they never reach where they're trying to go because they can't get to where they're trying to go.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Fam. I'm getting pawed at by Pinkston Churchill. Oh, this sweet baby. Oh, there she is. There she is. It's raining, and there's some thunder. Oh, there's thunder. Pinkston Churchill. We have to cleanse the palate with a little pinks, don't we? We got to cleanse the palate. You give a kiss? She bends her head in for kisses. Oh boy. Rain ripped one of my canopies, apparently. Okie dokie. Well. Wow. Well. Fam, we got to cleanse the palate. We got to cleanse the palate. Let's do 2 throwbacks. Let's get into this. Let's do this one. Shall we?
So obviously, it's not the actual skin tone when we're talking about whiteness.
What?
It's the entitlement, privileges, microaggression.
Oh my goodness. She's responding to a post saying, excluding people because of skin color / race is racism. Yeah, excluding people because of race. Did she just say whiteness?
Whiteness is seen as the standard and catered to. The white superiority complex isn't everything you touch.
What does that even mean?
Some BIPOC folks enjoy a place of safe haven where whiteness is not centered. It's about nurturing and nourishing the wellness of BIPOC folks.
That's racist.
If you can't understand the need for that or respect that, you're exactly the reason.
What reason?
Jesus Christ.
Matt Damon.
Imagine being so racist. Can you guys imagine? Can you imagine like harboring so much hate that you're literally, right? That you're just literally. I can't imagine talking about race that flagrantly like that. All the white people. I never sit here and say these black people, all these blacks everywhere. Yeah. Why are they out there? They're just like walking around and shit and going to jobs and I don't know. They have, you know, they look tan. I don't like really tan looking people. But like doing it in the sense of that you're delivering information, you know, doing in the sense that, hey, I just can't imagine like talking seriously about it. Like you're actually conveying information or something. All right, let's do another one. Get off my lawn. All right, if you thought that was bad, you haven't seen this one yet.
So this person is asking, why are small dick jokes transphobic?
They're not. No matter what it is, black jokes, Asian jokes, trans jokes, it's a joke. So that in itself should tell you everything you need to know.
Don't be such a pussy, baby.
When you make a small dick joke, what are you really saying about the person?
Do they have a small dick?
You're not actually commenting on their specific penis size.
You kind of are.
What you're saying is that having a small dick is something to be ashamed of.
It's a joke.
And there are behaviors associated with having a small penis.
Small dick energy. People that drive Mustangs.
The reason why saying, oh, you have small dick energy or you have a small dick is offensive to men specifically is because it is intended to be emasculating.
Wow. You don't say. Well, this is how men create resilience so that we can actually lean on them. It's a trust and a bonding experience between men. She's not a man, so she doesn't know. I don't know what that is. She's not a man, so she doesn't know, like, what is it? What do you guys think it is? What is that thing? What would you call that? What would you call that?
You went full retard, man.
I guess you could call it a retard. Okay. Well, fam, thanks for being here. Let's give it away. Let's give it away now. Let's give away this amazing Swole card. Fam, thanks for being here. Hashtag never stop gaining. And of course, you already know, grab yourself some Curl Bears merch. Here we go. The Curl Bears. Fantastic. Look at that. Bum, bum, bum. They're curling. Not the Care Bears, the Curl Bears. Not the Care Bears, the Curl Bears. papaswolio.com. Shameless plug. 20% off everything. While we're getting those last hashtags in, let's actually bring that guy up. Look at this fucking guy.
Hi, puppy.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy. That's me. Look, see? It's me. 20% off everything. Let's see what everything entails. Wow, there's so many things. best sellers. Look at all those. Oh my goodness. Look at those designs. Underrated. Even though they're properly rated, they're awesome. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at these designs. Look at the last. That's right. Last week was, see, I don't even remember. Last week was Swole White in the 7 stakes, or 2 weeks ago. I remember. It's because the internet cut out. Yeah. And I was pissed and it was really choppy. That was an underrated and I would say unenthused release because it was glitching out and I was pissed and I could barely get the stream going. I remember that that was the update, right? That was the update. The streaming app updated and it was a fucking disaster. Yeah, I remember that. So this is underrated. Swole White in the 7 stakes. Snow White lost like $100+ million, but hey, that's because Swole White's better. Swole White and the 7 stakes. And then, of course, here we got the Curl Bears. We got My Swole Pony. Look at that trifecta. Boom. And then we got Chicken is a Vegetable. Indeed. Jurassic Pump. Don't Be a Chode. I think I wore the Chicken is a Vegetable shirt recently. That's why I haven't worn it on the show. That's right. I wore it to work out. And it's dirty. And then we got, of course, the oversized tees. Department of Gym Efficiency, Gym City 2000, Power Pump Girls, Chill Guy, or Swole Guy, Jacked Sparrow. I always think like some of these, man, I always look at them like that's underrated. That's underrated. I guess, I don't know. I mean, they're all awesome. I mean, I think they're all awesome. I think they're all awesome because I made them. I don't put anything out that's not funny. Of course, some I think are better than others, but man, they all crack me up. So I don't put out anything that doesn't crack me up. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Hi, younger Papa Swolio. Hi, younger Papa Swolio. Hello. All right, let's do this. Swole card time. Swole card time. Let's give it away now. Thank you, Falcon. Excellent. Boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, scroll. We got a winner. Today's winner is, drum roll please, Troy.
Congratulations!
Troy Buff. Congratulations, Troy. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3259 in the subject, your mailing address and the body of the email. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations, Troy, on your Swole card. And thank you everyone else for being here. Again, leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Hit the thumbs up, share it with your friends. Good episode today. SwoleNormousX.com to join the fam. We got membership specials going on over there, and you'll get access to all the latest drops and everything we have in the all new. How long can I say all new for? I mean, it was only like a couple months ago. The all new Swolenormous app now available in the App Store and Google Play. So you have a nice accompaniment to the awesome content over at SwoleNormousX.com. They pair together, same login, same username, all your favorite content with even more features and more benefits. So go and check it out. Join the fam today. And of course, merch over at papaswolio.com. 20% off. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm